Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for another plan with me. For this week, this is the week of my honeymoon. I should say our honeymoon, that sounds so selfish. There were definitely two of us on the honeymoon, it was my husband's honeymoon as well. And I'm using a kit by Sadies Stickers. I think it's, the July 2021 kit, so it matches the monthly kit from July 2021 as well. I believe it is still up in her shop. Well, it is at the time of the voiceover, sorry if it's not after you've watched this, if you wanted to buy it, but she does keep her kits up for a long time, so it's worth always checking back if you see people using kits that you like from her shop. Apologies, similar to my last video, there will be a lighting change. So I filmed the first bit of this spread and the first bit of my next spread whilst I was actually on holiday in the Maldives, and then I filmed the rest when I got back. So apologies if the lighting change is really annoying. It is only for these two videos. I was determined to have some planning time while I was out there and just kind of enjoy putting the spread together while I was out there. So yeah, apologies if that's annoying. So I wanted to use this kit specifically because I want to say it was Two Little Bees had a similar one that I used earlier this year. Sorry if you can hear me trying to check my planner in the background. I'm pretty sure I used it. Yeah, I used it in July. And I really liked the clip art from the kit, but the Two Little Bees kit didn't come with any florals at the time because I'd purchased it a long time ago, whereas this one came with the floral deco attachment add-on. So I could sort of plan with it exactly how I wanted. So that's why I went with this kit. I just really, really like the clip art. And I just thought it suited the type of holiday that we went on really well. So most of this plan with me will be me talking through kind of what we did each day, and basically just how amazing of a holiday it was. So if that's going to bore you to death, then apologies in advance, or please feel free to go and watch something where someone is not rambling on about their holiday activities. So yeah, in the sidebar, I haven't used my sidebar functionally for a long time, and I loved every single box in the kit. So I thought that was a really good opportunity to bring in that flamingo box there. So I really enjoyed putting the sidebar together. I just marked that it was our honeymoon week, just because I hadn't written anywhere in the plans itself that it was our honeymoon week, so I just thought it was nice to mark it. I'd marked in the week before that it was 1 week to our honeymoon, so I just thought it's a nice way to round it all off. The script, I believe, is from Honey Inked, but I don't think they're in her shop at the moment. And then there's a couple of dividers from Honey Inked, and then almost every single icon is from Crafts by Thaowie, including the wedding rings. She does a full wedding sheet in her shop, so if you are getting married or you're going to a wedding and you want to mark wedding-y activities, I highly recommend that sheet. You should just be able to type in wedding into the search bar, or if you go to collections and then scroll down to like the third option, which is functional foiled or all foiled sheets or something, it will come up, and it's available in all three foils, and I love it. But yeah, basically for this week, I unfortunately, because of the time of the holiday, I couldn't find any summer icons for the life of me. And I remember earlier this year seeing people use all these fabulous like $2 Tuesday palm trees and all this really cool summery holiday-esque stuff. So I popped a note out on Instagram. It's always worth adding things to your Instagram stories if you're looking for something in particular, because people can then point you in the right direction if they know of shops that have what you're looking for. In this case, Crafts by Thaowie actually said she had a full summer sheet available if I wanted to buy it, and she asked me what foil colour I wanted it in and popped it on to her shop so that I could buy it from her website, and I ordered a couple of other things at the same time, of course. So that is why most of this spread is Crafts by Thaowie icons, because I pretty much stuck to this sheet for about 90% of the spread. There's a couple of icons, as always, from Wright to Stationery and from Miss and Meow, but for the most part, it is crafts by Thaowie. So everything that you see that is on white premium matte paper in gold foil is crafts by Thaowie, and then the colourful foiled icons are from Miss and Meow, and the non-foiled icons are Wright to Stationery, if that helps at all, because I'm probably not going to kind of say each one as I go. I absolutely loved the bathing suits on that kit, so I just had to use as many of them as I could, and I saved one to use the following week because we had a couple of days from the following week that the holiday carried over till, so I really enjoyed using everything on that sheet, but the swimsuits were my absolute favourite. So we went to the Maldives for our honeymoon. We have never done a holiday that sort of fabulous before. We've never done anything quite so grand. And it was just everything we could have possibly dreamed. We got married back in April. We were originally supposed to get married in February, but obviously everyone knows that COVID happened. So that got postponed. We held off until the very last minute postponing it because it had been almost a year since COVID had been around by the time we were supposed to get married. So we held out, but they said, no, there's no way. So we pushed it back to the April. And actually the 12th of April, which is when we got married, was conveniently the first day that the world started to open up and that weddings were allowed. So that was a huge relief when that was confirmed to be going ahead. But obviously travel was not open at that time. So the honeymoon was still pushed back to November. So that's why we're going so far away after we got married. When we got to the airport, my husband suggested perhaps we should consider upgrading. Again, not something we would ever do, but because it was our honeymoon, we were like, yeah, let's go for it. And we just did it on the way there and not on the way back. And it was like nothing I've ever experienced. You go in, you have your little cabin with the door that closes, and it was just an amazing experience, and something I will cherish forever. And I am so grateful that he did that, because it just made the holiday get off to the best start. And I am not a good flyer, and it is 11 hours. It was 10 hours on the way there, 11 hours on the way back. And I'm not a good flyer. I get really freaked out by flying. So that was a really nice way to sort of calm the nerves, because you're not cramped in a tiny space with people next to you and, feeling very enclosed and suffocated. So it was just wonderful. It really was wonderful. So we had fun doing that. It was an overnight flight, so I got a decent amount of sleep because the beds lay flat. And we just had a really good time. We took so many photos. So then when we landed in the morning in the Maldives, we then had to get on a seaplane, and I've never been on a seaplane before, that took us to a boat, that took us to the hotel. I've never done anything like that before, and it was seamless start to finish. They take your luggage from the minute you get off the plane, and they transport everything for you all the way through to you arriving in your room. Didn't have to lift a finger. It was amazing. So then we checked in, and I wrote the room number just because we said if we ever go again for various big anniversaries down the line, we loved our room and the view was perfect, and we had an amazing reef. If you swam a couple of minutes out into the sea, it was just amazing. So that's why I wrote the room number. So the first thing we did was just jumped in the sea. We just wanted to immediately absorb ourselves into where we were, to sort of make it feel more real. And then I needed to have a nap. I was exhausted. It's a lot of travel, and I do get really anxious about flying. And then in the evening, we went and had fish tacos and sorbet that is like no sorbet I've ever had in my life. I would have eaten that all day, every day. It was the creamiest, most delicious. I like getting saliva in my mouth just thinking about it now. It was amazing. Sorry, I just caught a bit of myself that I'd forgot to edit out there, and that was really confusing. I was like, how has that stayed in there? Just must have not pressed delete. Sorry for that really weird pause. So yeah, sorbet was incredible. I think I did eat it at least once a day, but I would have had it all day, every day, if I'd have had my way. On the Wednesday, we got straight into snorkeling. It was all inclusive, so I was drinking cocktails all the time. My other half had a couple of cocktails, but he's not really big on alcohol, so he mostly had mocktails. But he did have a few, which was quite surprising because he really isn't an alcohol person. Then out in the back of the villa, there was like a tropical shower, which was awesome. Like, it was a really big shower head that just let rain fall. It was amazing. So I jumped straight into that after we'd been in the sea, and then I spent time doing some planning. I planned the week before this spread, and then throughout our time on holiday, I also did the starts of the next two spreads, as in this spread and the next one. And then we went out for a night swim just in the pool, and that was really lovely. And then they got a massive bubble bath in the back garden as well, so I had a bubble bath out the back of the villa, which was amazing. Then on Thursday we went to the house reef, which was incredible. We got to see all these beautiful fish. I then of course had some more sorbet with lunch, and then just kind of had some downtime at the villa and had a nap. I really didn't settle into the time difference at all the entire time. I think I napped almost every day, or at least had to have some downtime in the afternoon to kind of recover from swimming. It is exhausting. And then just kind of chilled in the pool. Friday, we got up quite early and just went out for an early breakfast. And then when we came back, I just did some more planning and had some downtime, and put on some Poirot, which was lovely, in the background while I was doing my planning. I painted my nails, and then we decided that this evening we would get a bit more dressed up, go and catch the sunset, and then go to dinner. And it was just such a wonderful evening, and we've got some of my favourite pictures from the holiday that evening. It really was wonderful. Sorry, this is really weird. I keep catching bits where I haven't pressed delete. I don't understand how that's happened, but if there's like weird pauses and my voice sounds slightly different, it's just because I've had to pause the voiceover to delete. It's all edited, it's just that big bit in the middle of me doing the writing hasn't been removed. But anyway, so yeah, it was really lovely. The sunset was a little disappointing, but still lovely to catch together. Then on Saturday we did some bird feeding in the morning, which was amazing. It was the little kind of colourful, I want to say they're like parakeets. That was awesome. So then I wanted to do that every day after that, and I wish we'd done it every day the whole holiday, but there we go. I'm glad we did it on the last 3 days. Then we took out a kayak. Lewis did most of the work moving the kayak. I was just there to take pictures and videos and be a moral support. I did get involved a couple of times, but definitely was not putting in the same level of effort that he was. And then it poured with rain, and we both had wanted it to, because it had been so sunny and wonderful, but we've really wanted to see what the rain was like, for it to really feel tropical. And we'd chosen to eat dinner outside without knowing that it was going to rain, and it poured. So there was a big dash inside. Then the rain continued into Sunday. We did the bird feeding again and just kind of had a chill day. And then I'm just marking something funny that happened in the day that I will not go into to try and explain, but it was absolutely hilarious. And then we played some bananagrams in the evening. And I had to, my husband talked me into letting him use a dictionary, because he always loses to me at bananagrams and he hates that. So he was allowed to use a dictionary this time. I still won, but he didn't know what half of the words that he wrote were. And then he taught me a card game as well. So that was most of the honeymoon. It was the most amazing holiday, and I'm so glad that we chose the Maldives. We both felt really relaxed and refreshed. I really hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for bearing with me if you did stick around. I have absolutely loved putting this spread together, so thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.